This myth that I do, and I know other writers do, the myth of the perfect writing day. Eventually, I'm gonna have the perfect day, the perfect space. Everything will be right. My coffee will be just the right temperature. I'll have exactly the perfect song playing, and now beautiful prose takes hold. And of course, when I have those moments, I just stare at the screen. Like I really need a distraction to get me spurred on.
Exactly. Well, and I just went to a writer's retreat, and one of the people there was talking about how she loves, the whole idea of the sprint or the timed write. And I think I realized that if I do have a shorter amount of time that I feel like, okay, so you're going to take 45 minutes and you're going to write as much as you can in 44 minutes, and then you're going to 45 minutes, and then you're going to go do laundry or whatever else is distracting me. I get so much more done than if I feel like I have 3 hours. I'm just going to write however much I'm inspired to write. And yeah, I get more done when I time myself and when I have smaller snippets of time. I don't know what that's about for me, for my brain, but I'm learning to run with it.
So about 45 minutes just straight through.
Yeah, 45 minutes. And then I say, okay, 30 minutes, I'm going to do something completely different, like, vacuum my living room or fold clothes, switch out laundry, or go into my kid's scary bathroom upstairs and see what needs to be done. But yeah, and then I find, I don't know, I think there's something about that break from my brain. I mean, I still try to think about it, and it helps me to stop on a break, like if I finish a scene, and then to think about, okay, so what needs to happen in the next scene? And then I'm able to hit the ground running instead of what I usually do is sit at my computer and think, now what happens? And then I get stuck there longer for some reason. So that's been super helpful for me. It's been like, one of those moments.
So on those 30-minute breaks when you're doing the dishes or what have you, cleaning your kid's scary bathroom, are you listening to a podcast such as this one, or are you keeping everything clear out of your head so you can really focus your thoughts on the story?
I haven't been using anything, but that doesn't mean it's like a new thing I'm trying. So it doesn't mean that I wouldn't start doing something. I've created a playlist for the current whip that I'm working on, and so that's kind of fun because it's kind of a scary story. So I have kind of spooky music, and it's been fun to listen to that and see how it gets me into the mood. But I haven't been listening to anything with words. If that makes sense. At least not so far, but that might change. It's something that I'm kind of playing with as far as becoming more productive. So,
do you create an individual playlist for each project?
No, this is the first. Well, it's not the first time. I created one for a project that never went anywhere. I was kind of obsessed with it, and it was YA fantasy. And in talking to my agent, we decided to focus more on middle grade. But for a while, I was really kind of thinking about this story, so I created a playlist, and but it's the first one that I've been able to listen to while I'm actually working on it. So it's kind of fun. But as long as it doesn't become distracting, and then instead of writing time, I'm thinking, now what songs should I add to my playlist? Because sometimes that preparatory stuff, I get too caught up in that. It's too easy to like dive in and become completely distracted.
So what kind of spooky music are you listening to put you in that frame of mind?
I actually put out a call on Facebook and asked people like what kind of stuff they consider spooky. I'd have to open it to look. Like I said, I'm really bad with names and like remembering stuff, but yeah, people are aware of lots of spooky stuff. I'm not super hip. And so somebody said that all my old friends were recommending like old school songs. So he was trying to recommend more like hipper stuff. And so I created a playlist because I wanted to mention some of these spooky songs in the manuscript to kind of add to the atmosphere. And so I'm listening to it to try to figure out which ones might work best. So I'm trying to think of who everybody was saying is spooky because she only sings like 3 notes. Oh, what's her name? See, I'm not hip. I don't remember. But yeah, so it's kind of fun. A lot of the people I'd never heard of before. So.
Gotcha. Well, I've got the soundtrack to It Follows that I keep and a playlist just for
Cool.
scary stuff. No words, just jarring noises and
Yeah. there are a lot of spooky soundtracks too, and because sometimes I get distracted by words. Like I can't listen to music with words when I write because it's too distracting. But I can listen to just instrumental stuff. Or I love Ambient Mixer. Have you ever been on Ambient Mixer? You
yeah,
can
what's
like
that?
listen to, it's like has all these different types of themed like ambient noise. Like you can listen to the Hufflepuff Commons Room or the Hogwarts Library. I'm listening to Spooky Forest right now, and then somebody told me the Louisiana Swampland, like at night. And so I listened to that, and that's kind of spooky. It's got a spooky vibe, but you can just about anything you can find there. I think there's like supernatural, like driving in their car and listening to their kind of music. Like there's just about anything that you can think of. And then people can put together their own ambient sounds. Like they can add owls and add, footsteps and the clinking of a spoon in a teacup. It's super cool. But yeah, I like to search those and find ambient noise because that doesn't bother me as much as like songs with music. I mean, with words.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah.